Are you ready? What's my name? What's my name? Say Kareem Ali. Say Kareem Ali. You're listening to
Are you serious?
the Hip Hop Debate Show.
Okay, so hear me out.
The official podcast of Kareem Ali. In about 2 seconds, Kareem Ali will begin to speak.
We were just discussing such things.
All right, Kareem Ali TV. This is the Are You Serious podcast where we discuss various topics to the lens of hip hop culture. And we have one today that could get a little controversial here, depending on who you're a fan of. We got my man Slankster Hughes, the lyrical Leviathan, on the show. Pittsburgh, PA, by way of Baltimore City. My man Jay Swan, MC, poet. Ty Hill, the former MC, and the host of the Cards Face Up podcast. You know what I'm saying? My man. And then we got a newcomer to the show, Cam, the president, music critic, knows a lot of shit. I've heard that, you know, Cam has a lot of knowledge as thick as his hair follicles coming out of his head. So we're gonna test that today. So today we're gonna talk about who's the better MC of the 2010s. And usually when we have this conversation, there are 3 names that always come up in the rise: Kendrick Lamar, J.COLE, and Drizzy Drake. People usually talk about when it comes to the best MC, the best hip hop artists of the last, decade or so. I think a lot of these guys came out around 2008 or something like that, and many of them are still dominant today, even as far as sales. I don't know if they're the most popular or not, but they seem to sell the most of those, of the artists that are out today. Who's the best MC of these 3? Who's the one that is tops to you? First, I'm gonna go to Joshua Swan.
So, well, I gotta say Kendrick. Out of all the 3, I gotta give it to Kendrick. For the fact that he has the best discography out of everybody in the 3, in my opinion, with, of course, Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, To Pimp a Butterfly, which was, in my opinion, the best album of the 2010s. Then Damn was a pretty good album, and he has a great catalog. J.COLE, he'll probably be second, but in my opinion, he only has like one classic album. In my opinion, is that 2014 Forest Hill Drive.
Okay.
And Drake, people will say Take Care is his best work. I don't believe so. I think it's Nothing Was the Same, in my opinion. So, but as far as like technical rap, I give it to Kendrick. Better than both of them at the same time. It's not. To me, it's not even close.
Okay, well, goddamn it. All right. Well, Cam, the president, what would you say to that, Cam? What were your picks for the best MC of this decade, the previous decade, I mean?
Well, I would say that I agree that Kendrick has the best catalog out of them, but I think I'll probably say that Cole's the best technical rapper. I think he does storytelling better than any of the other 2. His flows, he's a versatile artist that people don't give him credit for with the flows, with the delivery, how he reaches his audience. It's an art to it. So I would say that Kendrick's close. Like they're 1A, 1B. If you said that Kendrick's a better MC, I can't argue that, but I feel like Cole, like the technical aspects of his music are underrated, and I give him that badge over Kendrick just a little bit.
And where does Drake rank? Just the 3rd, close?
Yeah, he's the 3rd, but I don't view him as an MC, more as an artist. Like he's the best artist out of the 3 as far as his versatility. His catalog sounds the most dispersed across the spectrum. So I would say artistry, he's up there, but MC is not where he focuses talent. So it's apples to oranges almost,
Okay. My nigga Ty Hill. What you got to say about that, Ty Hill?
I totally agree. I don't know why Drizzy is inside the conversation of MCing.
Put him there.
Who put him there? You put him there?
I didn't put him. No, sometimes I get these requests from people that wanna see that come up. They always mention his name. They say he's really dominant. I want to know what you.
I agree with my brother with the doggy style shirt on. Drizzy is probably the best mainstream artist out of the three. His music will probably live a lot longer than the three because it's not fully hip hop. It's just artistry, it's pop. It's all of that shit, So I don't put him on that list. So I'll say out of those two. Now, I also agree. I think Cole makes the best music out of the three. I'm not a big Kendrick fan. Most people know. I'm not a big Kendrick fan.
Or
I think Kendrick is.
Gotcha.
Or KRS-One.
This is not that show.
He's got to throw KRS-One in there.
This is not that show.
I think Kendrick is overrated in a lot of places. He's lyrical, shit like that, but he's not really saying much to me. Maybe it's the West Coast disconnect, which would be odd for me to accept as the reasoning because I like a lot of West Coast artists. But I mean, honestly, I don't feel as though, the brother said that Kendrick had one of the best projects out the three. Cole only had one good project. I don't think none of Kendrick's projects since he's been out beats any of Cole mixtapes. The Come Up, the Warm Up, Friday Night Lights. I think those three just was classics. And you're right. It was like 07, 08. I remember Drizzy and Cole was coming out around the same time. I think Kendrick is the last of the three. But them two, I already knew Cole was going to be that gifted person that he is. And back then he was still doing a little bit of production of his own stuff. I don't believe nobody's gave us a story like he's gave us. And I know y'all going to say Bad Kid, Big City, whatever the fuck that title is.
The whole album was a story, Ty.
Yeah, yo.
It wasn't everybody going to say that. That just wasn't a good. It just wasn't as good as people make it out to be, in my opinion. The songs don't hit as hard as I think a Cole do. I mean, Cole gave us a song about fucking a dedication to fucking Fannie Mae. Like what the fuck is it? What's the people, the college loan people? Fannie Mae, right?
That bitch. That's still all money, but I don't know.
Nah.
He got a whole song about it. Like you don't get that. Like that shit was like dope as shit. You've never seen nobody do that. Like, and he treated her like a female. I don't know if y'all heard it, but he talked to her. Look, I know I ain't even answering your calls. He'd be like this shit is dope. I don't get that from Kendrick. I just don't. Now, stage performance, stage-wise, I think Kendrick has one of the best shows of the three. And Drink, Hold Up, Swimming Pools was wonderful.
Man.
It was good fucking song.
You're a classy asshole. Like, you're an asshole, but in a classy way. I like it.
Swimming Pools was wonderful.
Slick Vic Low. I know you're sitting over there stewing and ready to spout off. Give me a breakdown of these three. Oh, he took the glasses off. He's right.
And he wrote notes. I know it.
I saved them for last, so you can just go off.
All right. Let me try to start my lecture. Okay. First of all, this entire topic is ridiculous because Drake should not be included, period.
Oh my God.
He's not a rapper. He's not an MC. He doesn't rap. He's a Canadian R&B singer. He doesn't even sing. He sings off key and then auto-tunes the song. He's a Canadian R&B singer. In the timeline that I exist in, he's human baby powder.
Oh God.
He's a powdered donut in the form of a pop star. He shouldn't be a part of the category. Now, when we talk about this topic,
that's hard.
We delve into the realm of what I call the BJN theory, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas theory. This is what this really stems from. In 1998 or so, when Jay-Z rapped on Marcy, who's the best, Biggie, Jay-Z, or Nas? And so when we talk about this question, we're asking, well, what is the modern day version of that question as it applies to this era's or this generation's MCs within the last 10 years or so? Who is the Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas of today's version of that question? Drake should be disqualified. He hasn't spit a quality verse in like 7 to 9 years. How can he have a classic hip hop album? He doesn't make hip hop music. You have to go all the way back to like the first mixtape to be like, oh yeah, that was like his classic.
Cam, do you disagree with that? I see your face.
Yeah.
Wait. There's much more to cover here. I let everybody go and say their things that were very wrong. Look, I personally prefer the bars of Wheelchair Jimmy to the bars of Aubrey Graham Drake.
Y'all took it messy.
Because at least he was rapping. He had 16s. The last time Drake spit an entire 16, I didn't have any gray in my beard. So my real answer to the question is Drake is disqualified. 2, it's a different 3. Drake shouldn't be a part of it. I would say the modern day version of the BJN theory is Kendrick. As the brother rapped on his recent album, he said best MCs, Kenny, Jay, and Joey and Cole. So I think it's Kendrick, it's Joey Badass, and it's J.COLE. Those are the actual 3 if you really want to answer the question based off of hip hop, based off the art of MCing, based off of actual skills and impact and legacy. And to Joey's credit, he's the only one who managed to have this level of impact, the same as them, without ever associating himself with a major label or platform. He turned down signing to Rock Nation and then still had his official debut album, Smash Soundscape. So the real answer is Kendrick, Joey Badass, and J.COLE. To me, in that order. Based off of the last album that came out, I'll put Kendrick at the top. I used to say
Cam, unmute yourself. I want to hear from you.
I used to say Joey was the best, but I would say those are the 3 that are the answer to that question. The third thing, though, and the problem with this entire topic and what makes it blasphemous is if you compare this 3, if this is today's 3, and you compare it to the original 3 of the original question, none of them can even hold a candle to be in that category.
Okay, slow down, bro. Okay, that's another show. Wait a minute. Okay. I want to hear from Cam first. So looks like I want to hear from Cam.
So with that, I feel like the conversation shouldn't be on like the actual title of MC, because we're looking at who are the artists that are representing this generation, and that's definitely Cole, Kendrick, Drake. But if you're looking at who is holding it down from strictly a rap perspective, I wouldn't put Joey up there. Joey hasn't been consistent enough in his delivery to be that third name. I would personally put Crit from the 2010s, Big Crit. Just off of projects like Forever is a Mighty Long Time, his mixtape run, he's distanced himself. He's got, songs like Mount Olympus, basically just telling people, you're sleeping on me as an artist, you're sleeping on me as a rapper. I'm one of the people out here who's really holding it up. Joey, I feel like he's heavily influenced from that 90s sound. He's trying to chase a ghost of an artist that he never was, but as you start to hear more of his actual artistry come out, like an album like All American Badass, I start to see more of the argument where you could say that, okay, he's up here.
His worst album.
It's not. It's, as an artist.
Why? Because he starts to sound like all the other rappers of the day? Whose skills are watered down and dumbed down terribly?
We might as well get into the next discussion that we're going to have.
Like 99.
Well, on this one, right? On this one, don't we have to have some type of commercial success in order for this question to be compared to the?
I believe so.
So that would take Joey out of it, right?
It doesn't though, because he still went like triple platinum out the gate
because hip hop
without being on a major label.
Hip hop is miss hip hop. So hip hoppers. But if we're talking about mainstream things, Joey ain't really considered inside that noise.
He did his album. Before the Money debuted it at #1 as off of an independent label. He still did that.
So if you go outside, how many people?
So that's a bonus point.
So we're talking about the 2010s would mean the age group is what, about 28, right? Like that's like mid-range of that age group of that. They probably know more about Joey Badass on the show. What's the show?
Power. Book 2 or 3 or some shit.
Power, Mr. Robot, Grownish.
Grownish. They probably know more about Joey Badass from Grownish than they do for music. So I can't say that he really hit the commercial level, because if I go ask 20 people right now, most people don't know him from music. Most people can't say a Joey Badass song.
His album still debuted at #1 on SoundScan.
Because hip hop versus Miss Hip
In,
Hop.
in spite of not being attached to a major label. That gives
y'all
him
buy
bonus
like
points for making a mainstream splash without having to be attached to a mainstream platform.
Because you sat at home and you listened to it 100 times. It was like 5 of y'all and y'all just listened to it a lot.
Come on,
How
stop
could it
it,
be?
damn.
How could it be? How could it be 5 of us if it debuted number 1 on the
Damn it,
I'm fucking with you. But
It had
I don't know. If we go,
it
Drake,
smashed.
I totally agree that Drake has to leave the competition. And we can replace fucking Drake for Nicki Minaj for as much as I care about Drake being on that.
Nicki Minaj predates this
as an
time
MC.
frame. Nicki
Nicki
Minaj
the
came
same
out
time
like
as Drake.
2008.
No,
She's the same
like,
generation.
07, 08.
Yeah,
All came out in 08. Even Section 80 was
Really?
like 08, 09.
Wayne
Like,
brought both of them
if
out,
we're
so they all
being
stopped.
J.COLE had
specific,
mixed
but
tapes.
Kendrick came out in 03. Kendrick's been out since HNIC, so he's 03.
We didn't
But
really
if you
start
looking
hearing
at
about him like
I
that.
like this
that.
nigga. He
Yeah,
like
if you go back
that
before
nigga like
Mad
a
City
human
and stuff, yeah.
rap.
Section-
Damn, he was who? HNIC.
yeah, I think that was
Prodigy.
but he had a few mixtapes before Overly Dedicated. But my point is, like, if we're looking at who commercially is relevant, then that's another conversation because MCing is not a
That's another
commercially
conversation.
way to look at
Yeah,
it.
I'm tired of that question. Like, who's commercially relevant? Fuck that shit. This is fucking
Yeah, but
hip-hop.
you brought
Nobody's
that.
saying here
Still,
calling
the
MC Hammer or
label
Master
of
P.
being-
the
You
GOAT.
brought that
Who
on.
sold
You
more
brought that
records
on.
than Master P or
No,
MC Hammer? Nobody. Nobody's
can't
calling them
say-
to go. You have to have skills too.
No, you can't say commercial don't count and then say
I'm not
album
saying it
sales
doesn't
is a
count,
reference
but it
point.
can't be
No,
the
listen,
deciding factor.
You
You can't
use
have
album
one
sales
and
as-
none of the other.
No, listen, you use album sales as a reference point, and then you use Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas as another reference point. All that is commercial.
They exactly. But the point is, you
Can't
have
be
to
our
have
reference
skills
points.
too. You can't have only the commercial part. Drake has only the commercial part.
This fuck.
He doesn't.
And I listen.
Hey,
We all know I'm not a Drake. I am a Drake fan, but I have my beef with Drake. Drake makes the best music that's going to last probably the longest out of
But I don't
all.
understand this idea that Drake is representing this generation's culture for artistry. The word is not
Have you-
artistry. He creates songs where he whines about being a fuckboy and then auto-tunes them. He doesn't even sing on cue. Most of his content is whining about bitches, whining about shit in the form of
That's a
being
different
fuckboy,
generation.
about how he misled women, and then now he's the one who's heard about it.
This
Get
is a
his
different
ass the fuck
generation,
outta
though.
here.
This is a different generation, though. This generation loves that shit. I mean, how
That doesn't make it
they
good
used to call
music.
me
This
on my
generation
cell phone.
has
These niggas was
stuff
shot-
that is quality.
This niggas was
And
shot
that
out
ain't it.
dancing to call me on my cell phone. This generation is not us. I mean, that shit would have never went
So what-
in
what-
96,
what-
97.
And that's my question. If you
I'm
compare
with you.
these
Drake gets-
three MCs,
Drake gets put
compare
out.
these three
Drake is
MCs
done.
to the original three of the question, and none of them belong in the conversation with
I'm
Jay-Z,
saying that,
Biggie,
though.
or
I
Nas.
wouldn't dare compare them to the original three.
And that's what I'm saying.
I'm talking about
That is
this
the
generation.
equation. That is the
That's
equation
wild, too.
to the blasphemous statement of the theory, though, is that this era's standard of mainstream hip hop is considerably lower than the classic era,
Are
and
you
that
triggered?
is the issue.
Flex,
That
were
is
you
the
triggered?
issue.
Did it trigger?
Absolutely triggered because us as elder statesmen, we let that shit slide and be like, oh, it's this generation. Oh, we don't want to be called haters. But sometimes you got to tell the truth. When it comes to mainstream hip hop, what gets played on the radio, the standard of this era is significantly lower than past eras. So when we compare this era's mainstream best against another era's best, and they don't even belong in the same conversation, that's a big issue for the culture.
So you think we went backwards?
I
as a
think the
culture?
culture. I think
In
the
terms
culture has
of
also.
mainstream radio music and rap, yes.
Say that I totally get what you're saying from, you feel me, as one of the elders of this shit, but I also agree that this culture now has a lot of input from other places, whereas though it was so strict on East Coast, West Coast. So you had Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas. That shit was straight New York. Of course, Baltimore niggas feel that shit. I mean, it's down the street. You get what I'm saying? Whereas though now you got people like, you can't tell me them niggas over in Chicago ain't spitting. Them niggas is giving bars.
Oh,
Like they
spit.
but they never gonna get classified in our Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas conversation, no matter
Well,
how
I mean,
good they are.
there's been, I mean, all right, well, let's segue then, because to me, we talk about those three of this era, they're stuck at a certain ceiling skill-wise and output-wise. When you start talking about the level above them that they cannot reach, you start talking about your Lupes. Lupe to me is at a level higher than any of those three. They can't even be in the category with a Lupe, and Lupe is from Chicago.
Cam, Jay Swan, what do you have to say about that? One second.
I like the Lupe. I like the Lupe shit. I like that.
Jay Swan,
You mentioned Lupe Fiasco. Like, he is pretty much the first Kendrick Lamar and J.COLE. He paved the way for both of those niggas.
All right.
Much.
Kendrick. I agree with Kendrick.
Cam,
Not Cole.
I want
Not
to
Cole.
go back. Like we're doing this whole Jordan versus LeBron debate. You know, comparing different eras, saying that the overall quality for this generation is lower than previous generations, but we're not taking into account how versatile music sounds right now. You got people like Gibbs and Griselda blowing up on one side. You still got Cole, Kendrick, all of these different people contributing to music, and it sounds drastically different. Right now, I would say that, you know, there's never been a better time to enjoy hip hop music, and the quality of it is extremely high. I'm not going to say that, you know, we have an Illmatic coming out every year, but the 90s didn't have an Illmatic coming out every year. So it's this golden lens that we put on music.
I would disagree. I would disagree. In 1994, there was like an Illmatic every month. In fact, in fact, Tribe Called Quest's third album, which is considered a classic, Illmatic, The Roots' second album, Black Moon's first album, they all came out on the same day.
The 90s was a wonderful fucking time to be alive.
Questlove calls it the greatest day in hip hop history, where literally 4 classes came out on the same day. So it's not Illmatic's not coming out every year. Sometimes they came out on the same day.
Yeah,
and all of those.
I hate to sound like the old nigga, but like I was.
Well, we got you know hip hop now. Hip hop now has become one of those things. You know, I was just now talking to somebody the other day about finding their students to classify. Like I had students that would classify, their parents would make them fail. And that's how hip hop is now, right? A lot of these motherfuckers, they come out when it's right time. Back then it was strictly competition. I can't agree with you, my brother, Doggy Style Shirt, but I fucking love your mental on this shit because you talking your shit, but I can't agree with you. The 90s was what a time to be alive. Music-wise, that shit dropped with Tuesdays.
Every Tuesday.
Shit was, it was on. You had to make a decision, depending where your mother and your financial state was in the 90s. You had to make a decision of whether you wanted to eat and buy your favorite rapper or your other favorite rapper or your other favorite rapper. This shit was stress.
You had to buy one CD and steal 2.
That shit was
you used to steal from Waxy Maxie's around Westfield. Niggas will go steal every Tuesday, have all the tapes and shit.
I get all of that, but my point is not that there weren't quality albums coming out, but those albums that we mentioned are not Illmatic. Illmatic is above Outkast. Illmatic is above. Tribe came out in 93. I don't remember a 94 album coming out for Tribe, but like that's not Illmatic. Illmatic is Illmatic.
Theory and Midnight Marauders came out in 94. Not
that's
Midnight
93.
Marauders. No, that's the low end theory.
You think
which is also a classic,
yeah, both of those classics.
No, Midnight Marauders is 93 because that came out the same day as Snoop, if I'm not mistaken. But my point is that there's high quality albums coming out, but to ignore like a Forever Is a Mighty Long Time coming out, To Pimp a Butterfly, these albums that Gibbs has with Madlib is crazy. Like the quality is as high as it's ever been.
So where I agree with Cam is that there is a high level of quality music still coming out, and part of that is because there's just so much more music coming out. There's a lot of versatility. There's so many more options because of streaming. Like you don't have to rely on majors anymore. Like there is a high quality of music that is high quality coming out, but you absolutely have to get outside of the mainstream bubble. Like if you're looking for consistently Illmatic level stuff coming from major labels and getting radio play and crossing over into pop, no. But in terms of the whole birth of what people have access to now, there's plenty of quality coming out.
So I want to push back 1 second. A couple of you guys said that Drake was the best artist and he made the best music of this generation. And I just disagree with that. I think the person you should be talking about is Kendrick Lamar. So Pimp a Butterfly was unbelievably musical, like just the sonics of it, and then lyrically what he brings to the table. In addition to the guys out there winning Pulitzer Prizes and shit, he's more groundbreaking than Drake has been. Drake's making
You want a Pulitzer Prize for hip hop?
I just don't agree with that. I know
like, if that's not Illmatic level, then I don't know what is. Like that's today's version of that.
We're talking about fucking just longevity wise. We're not saying that it was better. bet on that shit. We just talking about longevity wise, what you're gonna throw on 20 years from now at a party. Hotline Bling will still play 20 years at a party. I mean, think about this right now, you drop motherfucking keep on walking. I ain't talking to you. And y'all niggas gonna rock to it. It's just, it don't mean it was better than the shit that was dropping then.
But I don't know, yo. 20 years from now, you hear that bump, 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 bump. You hear all right? Come on, that's still the black. Right. That's like the modern day black people anthem. Like,
Kendrick
We Gonna Be All Right is an anthem that will last for decades.
You said something.
Black people gonna still be struggling.
They call me Kareem. I'm sorry.
Drake. Drake, to be honest with you, Drake, as far as like his music, like right after, let's say like when Scorpion, didn't really have that much replay value. Like, it's kind of shitty. Straight up. Like, every album from Kendrick Lamar has like replay value. Straight up.
You want to say something, brother? You want to push back on something I said?
I just wanted, not even push back. I wanted to ask you if I could bring this topic on. You know, I wanted to give it to your platform because y'all keep referencing Illmatic. Now, Illmatic, I believe, is one of the, you know, we put that top tier as hip hop, right? But do anybody remember the summer of 98, 99 when Nas dropped? Well, sorry, Nas didn't drop it. The bootleg hit the streets incredibly hard. I Am Nostradamus.
Yes.
You talking about the double album?
The double album.
Yes.
So I had this discussion with somebody the other day. I said, they like, well, you know, Nas ain't got no hits. I said, yo, I Am Nostradamus was literally his best album ever created. It just never got a chance to drop mainstream.
Yeah.
But bootleg,
you're talking about the unreleased version.
That shit was fucking incredible.
And some of it showed up on Lost Tapes, but it was a lot of songs on it. Because it was a bootleg. It was a bootleg going around, and it was titled "Death of Escobar." Is the album you're talking about? It's called Death of Escobar.
And then it was disappointing when the actual
literally one of his
commercial
best albums, but they revamped the whole album and they took a lot of those songs off to put more commercial songs on there, like not the Uchiwali, the joint on Nostradamus. They had Timbaland did the beat, and then they did the Hate Me Now. Yeah, they flipped the album to put some more commercial type joints on there, but that Death of Escobar version is like, that's the shit.
I remember hearing that.
I forgot it was called that. You're right. That's why nobody's getting me when I call it I Am Nostradamus. Because I think I labeled it that because I see the split of the two albums. Mainstream, both of them got songs from it, but neither one of them is the complete project. And the conversation I had with the homie the other day, they was talking about, well, Nas ain't gave us shit classics as Illmatic. And I'm like, yo, Nas really gave us some shit. It just got
always recording a lot of stuff that didn't come out. Because that bootleg dropped after Nostradamus came out. It came out before Stillmatic. It was like the bridge before Stillmatic came out.
Okay. I apologize, Kareem, for taking over that second. I just want to
No, that's all good. We like those discussions, brother. We like those discussions. We're gonna end this show. So we got it seemed to come down to Kendrick, Cole, and then Drake. And the reason is because Drake isn't necessarily considered an MC on that level, but just an artist. I think all of them are artists, though. I don't know why we always get extension.
Disqualified. It should be replaced by Joey Badass.
Fluffy shit.
Joey Badass.
Or Nicki Minaj.
Both Cole and Kendrick
it's crazy.
Are going to consider Joey the third. And Joey is going to mention those other two and not mention Drake. None of them niggas include Drake in the category with them.
All right. Kareem Ali TV, the Are You Serious podcast.
So I have to stand here today as what I was when I was born, a black man.
Your racism bounces off me, I'm bulletproof. Your prejudice gets deflected, I'm bulletproof. Your hatred can't penetrate me, I'm bulletproof. Our minds can't be shackled no more, nah, we know the truth. Yeah, from the spot that Malcolm stood.